Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. Welcome on in. Happy motherfucking Monday. How are we, my friends? Today is June 19th, 2023, and as I said, I'm your host, Zom Slays, and we have another really jam-packed show for you guys tonight. Couple things to go over, weekly recap stuff, Music Monday stuff. We're gonna go over what happened over the last week, things like that, and then we'll get into reactions and reviews, what's coming up on Music Mondays, and a whole lot of really really good stuff. So, let's get into it, my friends. I hope you're well, and as I said, happy Monday. So, let's talk weekly recap stuff. Episode 125 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on all platforms, wherever you listen to podcasts. That'll be YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, things like that. We are available everywhere. We're going to talk a little bit about our Spotify and things like that in a bit. But yes, huge shout out to everybody that came through to episode 125. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted to episode 125. That was a fucking banger show. Let's get it, baby. So as I said, it's available on our channel as well, and huge shout out to everybody that's been showing love to our YouTube channel. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Let's see. I have a couple other things on the list that we're going to talk about here tonight, chat. So let's get into it. Staff Design Showcase number 10 is available on all of our social medias. So Staff Design Showcase, for those of you that don't know, is our monthly segment where we promote our designers. Our design team is, extremely talented, and we try to show them as much love as possible. So basically, this is just a promo for them to really showcase their work, and for you guys to check out their work as well, but also showcase whether they're available for commissions or not. So again, Staff Design Showcase Volume 10 is available on all of our socials with 63. Huge shout out to 63 and all the work they do for Music Mondays. 63 is one of our more newer members, and they do so much work for Music Mondays, man. So huge shout out to 60 for real. Much love to them. So, a brand new YouTube upload is available on the channel right now, and actually we hit 181 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. Huge shout out to you guys, huge shout out to the community. That's fucking amazing, truly. Like, that's fucking awesome, because the last couple of months we've probably grown at such a steady pace in terms of subscribers, so that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, that's really awesome. So with that said, a brand new YouTube upload is available right now detailing how to get hosted on Music Mondays. What do I mean by hosted? Well, Music Mondays is in search of exclusive tracks for our SoundCloud and YouTube. So I broke that down last week, and I really spoke a little bit about the details of that, and how you can get promoted and hosted for free on Music Mondays, which actually we'll talk about that in a second, because a brand new track is available on our SoundCloud. Blank Thought, what's good? Welcome on in, my friend. Happy motherfucking Monday. I hope you're well. So yeah, huge shout out to everybody that checked out our brand new YouTube upload. New uploads every Thursday and Saturday, for those of you that don't know. But also, those of you that are interested in getting hosted on Music Mondays on our SoundCloud and on our YouTube channel, definitely check that out, and go show that some love. So, man, oh man. We dropped 2 articles last week, actually. We had an article go live on Friday, pretty early Friday, with our brand new writer, Sage. I spoke about them last week and their recruitment and their writing position here on Music Mondays. And again, huge shout out to Sage, but their first article is live right now on allmusicmondays.com. So if you didn't check that out, definitely go check that out, because Sage took the time to review Ryuki's new track Quest, along with their visual that we've actually reacted to here on the show over the last couple of weeks, realistically. So Really, really wonderfully written article. A really like detailed article, and I was like really impressed. But at the same time, Sage has a really good writing background. But at the same time, they're also a very talented vocalist. So it was really cool to see really what they could do in terms of writing, you know, because they're very talented vocalists, like I said. So it was pretty cool to see how they break down a track, you know. And Ryuki, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Big shout out Sage. Let's get it, baby. Avanko. Avanko is an artist that actually contacted us and reached out and wanted to see if we wanted to host a track on SoundCloud, and in fact, we did. So definitely go check out that new Avanko track that we hosted on our SoundCloud right now. Cover art, production, vocals, everything's done by Avanko. It's doing really well actually. So big shout out to all you guys. And again, if you're interested in getting hosted on the Music Monday SoundCloud or YouTube with a visual, or you want to host a track, or you want to host a visual and a track, all for free. Definitely reach out to us. Send us an email, send us a DM, contact me, whatever you feel is necessary. But again, huge shout out to Avanko, and thank you for letting us host your track. So we had a really busy Friday. We dropped an article, brand new exclusive, and we dropped another article. Our staff writer M Bischoff actually broke down a very interesting project titled Subo 5. And this one is actually by a very rare Bandcamp artist that I thought was like really unique to write about, and the whole project was like a big part in a series of projects. And M just broke down this kind of like rare Bandcamp release very well, like very very fucking well, because while I was editing this piece and uploading it, it kind of dawned on me, right, that uh like ever since like post pandemic, like you can still like find like a lot of like really interesting bangers on SoundCloud, right? And the music player and things like that are like really efficient on SoundCloud. But again, post pandemic, it seems like a lot of people are using Bandcamp and just kind of going super crazy with like uploading free projects, and just kind of taking the underground movement over there as well. Because years ago it wasn't as popular as it is now. It was definitely still popular, for sure it was. Just not as popular as it is now. So you know, just a really cool thing to think about, and definitely go check out that article by M as well. So that takes us all the way to Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday, volume 87 is available on our SoundCloud. That was curated by myself and Waterfalls, with 60 on the cover art. Huge shout out to 60 and Water. Again, the best SoundCloud playlist around, to be honest with you. We're doing them every week. Submissions open every Wednesday, in case you were curious. You're like, yo, Zom, Music Mondays, how do I get involved with SoundCloud Sunday? When is submissions open? What are you doing? What's going down? Where's it at? Every Wednesday, submissions open for SoundCloud Sunday. And again, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 87 is available right now. And again, definitely share that playlist if you're ever added or anything like that, because it's not only a playlist for the artist, but we want to get more people involved that are just regular listeners, realistically. You know, because we want to garner more of an audience for the artist to really feed off of. So any support on SoundCloud Sunday really helps. And this is like, this is really like a playlist that you should be sharing with your friends as well. As well as like your artist mutual friends and things like that. But definitely put people onto this playlist, because it's stacked with very unknown tracks, and really the finest up and comers in the underground right now, to be honest with you. And it's very rare that we put in like oversaturated tracks. Like sometimes you'll see a couple tracks sneak in there that are over like 2,000, maybe like 3,000 plays, but even that isn't like a lot. But the majority of SoundCloud Sunday is under like 1K, you know what I mean? And it's all fucking gas. Like it's all real gas. So like it's a very special playlist that not only myself but the team works really hard to curate and collect. So that's why you know, I urge you to share it with your homies as well. You know what I mean? Especially if you find one that you really enjoy. I mean, we have 87 volumes. There's no way that there isn't a SoundCloud Sunday that you're like, wow, this is like my SoundCloud Sunday. Um, because usually there's like 20 to 25 tracks, no more than 30. 30 on like a massive week, but no more than 30. Playlists you usually run for like an hour to like an hour and a half. But yeah, that's that. Submissions open every Wednesday if you're ever interested. And Volume 87 is live right now on SoundCloud. So, what's coming up for Music Mondays this week? What do we have planned? What's going on? What's up and coming? I mean, realistically, we have a lot of really awesome stuff planned as far as what me and the team have going on. I know we'll be getting a lot of writing done because we have 2 versions of In Case You Missed It Monthly coming out like very soon. The April edition is pretty much done, and you'll see that promoted this week. We have the May edition coming out as well, and then towards the later end of June, we'll have the June edition as well. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be available on our website and all of our socials as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Me and the staff are working on a tier list video. So I gathered as many staff members as I really could, and ones that were really down, to be honest with you. So we're gonna set it aside some time this week and into the weekend to really sit down and record a very interesting tier list video that I think the community will greatly appreciate for sure. So again, that's kind of on the back burner and something that we'll be squashing this week as well. One major thing, we are very close to unlocking ambassador ads on Spotify. So ambassador ads being companies that want to run ads on our show, you know, just a quick 30 seconds to a minute on Spotify. And we obviously get a cut of that revenue, which originally through the program that we had used, you didn't need to be eligible. Everybody was just able to unlock ads, but they switched around the system a couple of months ago. So now you have to hit a certain criteria to unlock ads, and essentially the ads just help us, just like Twitch ads do. Realistically, if you just listen to the ad during the show, that'll hook us up with a little bit of revenue, even though it might be not much. That would be awesome. So I believe we're about a quarter of the way. I think you need like 100 monthly listeners to continue to put ads on our show. So if you're not already following the Music Mondays podcast on Spotify and you're not playing the episodes on there and you would like to take us on the go, or you're just like, yo, I'm trying to fucking support that, please do, because we are on the road to, I think, I believe it's 100. We're about like a quarter away. I think we have like 25 monthly listeners. Because podcaster accounts are completely different than artist accounts. Because when we do our Spotify playlist, it won't be involved with the podcast account. So it's a completely separate thing. And over there on the podcast section of Spotify, you can go over there and run that up as well. You can go follow the show, things like that. And of course, that's always linked in the description of every episode. Literally, this is episode 126. So every episode previous to this, if you're watching this live, has our Spotify link in the description, as well as our Patreon link. So definitely check that out if you're interested in supporting that. If you don't take us on the go and you just watch us on YouTube, that's fine, because we're always trying to grow the channel as well. Wherever you guys watch the show is what we appreciate. You know what I mean? Like, we'll never ask you to go above and beyond, but that is one thing I wanted to mention as well. So wherever you're comfortable listening to the show, that's great, because that's why we put it on all platforms. We want to make it as accessible to everyone as possible, right? So that's a big thing for me, and I've always kept the show that way, and it's forever going to stay that way. But for all you Spotify people and shit, even Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, you can find all of our episodes over there as well. But mainly Spotify. If you're not following us over there, and you're not following the Music Mondays podcast over there, and you use Spotify a lot, go check that out. And if that's something you're interested in, go run us up over there, so we can get closer to unlocking some ads. So let's get it, baby. So that was something I really wanted to mention, just because I had noticed that we had gotten like really close, and I was like, holy shit. I need to talk about that here on the show. So again, we are looking for exclusives to host on our SoundCloud and our YouTube channel as well. For free, we'll completely promote you for free on all of our social media, and we'll host your track of choice on our SoundCloud and our YouTube channel as well. So again, if that's something you're interested in, feel free to send us a message or an email, or you can check out our guide that I uploaded last week on our YouTube channel that pretty much details everything you need to know about exclusive unreleased track hosting, music video hosting, things like that, because I put together a little guide last week. And if you missed that and you're curious, definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Music Mondays is recruiting, and Music Mondays is always recruiting, but I do have to mention it because we are looking for a few more members. We have about 12 staff members on hand right now, but we are looking to fill more roles. We are looking for writers, journalists, designers, curators, media people, people that want to do short form and YouTube content. Really, any passionate underground individual that understands the Music Mondays movement, understands the people that are involved, and really cares about the scene. And you want to see the brand grow, definitely give us a shout. Send us your portfolio or pitch. Portfolio is definitely not required, but preferred. Or you can just, like I said, pitch anything you want and just let us know. So recruiting is definitely open, and make sure you send us a message if that's something that you're interested in. So I have quite the list of topics to go over, but there are a couple that I'll have to take some more notes on before I go live with them here on the show, because there are a couple things that I know the community wanted us to touch on. Basic tools for a brand new artist. Free tools, cover arts, playlisting, how to do this, how to upload your music to distribution stores, things like that. So I'm going to put together a little guide. Somebody wanted us to talk about good playlists versus bad playlists, which I thought was a really good one. But there are some examples I really want to bring up and show you guys on screen. So a couple of those subjects I'm going to prepare for next week. And this week we'll hop right into reactions and reviews, and then next week we'll have more of a longer-winded subject, and we'll talk about a few of those things that I have written down. Another one we're going to be talking about is which distribution store is best, right? So DistroKid, Repost, United Masters, things like that. So there's a couple things that I really wanted to discuss with the community that not only people asked us for, but I think people will really enjoy as well. So definitely keep your eyes peeled. And one last thing, because that takes us all the way to Monday and what's coming up for Music Mondays. But for those of you that don't know, this past weekend was the Indie Horror Speedruns Puppet Combo Showcase. So huge shout out to everybody that tuned in and showed love to that, because that was quite the event. That was sponsored by Music Mondays and Hair World and a few others as well. So yeah, that was quite the event, and we actually hosted the playlist that was created for the event, containing a ton of Hair World artists, and it's hosted on our SoundCloud. You'll see that go live this week. So again, be out on the lookout for that. That is a really long, really cool kind of playlist. Definitely one that was pretty well thought out, to be honest with you. So yeah, again, huge shout out to Indie Horror Speedruns and everybody that showed love. So I forgot to turn my light on this stream chat. Hold on. Give me 1 second, man. I knew it looked kind of dark in here. I was like, what the fuck? That's comedy. Okay, we are Gucci. I can't believe I forgot about that. Alright, chat. Let's get into this. Let's talk submissions. Let's talk um everything. So, how do I submit to the Music Mondays podcast? Music Mondays, where do I put my submissions? What do I do? Why do you take submissions on Twitter? Things like that. So, you guys know the drill, but if you don't and you're new here, submissions will be in the same format each week. Artists and creatives submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on 6/19/23 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Twitch.tv/SilentPlays. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. For our show limit, must be following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Patreon subscribers, submissions played first each week. So again, what does all that mean? Um, if you see these tweets, just check the date, and it'll most likely be the correct tweets. But contrary to our name, we take submissions from all types of creators because most underground creatives are multi-talented. You guys have heard me talk about this quite a few times here on the show, but we've reacted to not only vocals but instrumentals, graphic art, fashion, merch, YouTube edits, short films, you name it. We've pretty much reacted to it, writing things like that. Because again, like I said, a lot of underground creators are multi-talented. They're not just kind of grinding one thing. A lot of artists out here are very talented at a couple of things. So that's the reason for that. For our show limit, because again, the majority of you know that we do get a hefty amount of submissions each week, and a 4-hour podcast is already kind of long, but anything past that is pretty much unbearable to watch in like one sitting. So, at least something that's like 4 hours you could like throw on in the background. But as far as anything past that, it's pretty unpalatable to like go back and watch. That's the only reason why we decided to limit the show. And again, we are a weekly show. A lot of people are doing monthly podcasts or even bi-weekly podcasts, but nobody's live like once a day every single week, as much as we are. So that was another reason for that, to not only just give the crew a bit of a break and things like that, but it doesn't really make it too stressful to go back and record each week, right? Because we are a live show on top of it. So that was the reason for that. Many of you know, all of our submissions are always free. All of our playlist submissions are free. You can't pay for articles, interviews, reviews. You can't pay to get on the podcast. You can't pay to submit to the podcast, things like that. They're all free, and we'll be the ones that reach out to you. But the only thing that we do ask before you submit to the show is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter, to not only help grow our community and spread our message, but it helps give consideration to all the people that submit to the show each week, right? Because they, follow the show, they sit here and wait, and that's one of those things that we just want to give respect to as well. So that's that. So with the 4-hour show limit, there's no guarantee that we can get through every single submission, right? I think just like probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, um, we had like over like 60 submissions or something like that. So, like I said, there's no guarantee that we can get to every single person's submission. But um, if you're interested in getting your submissions played first each week at the top of the show, because many of you know that our shows are uploaded to all platforms. So, if you want to be one of the first people that are played, make sure you go check out our Patreon and subscribe to any of our tiers, because you'll be eligible for the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which enables you to have your submissions played first each week here on the show. So that's pretty much that, my friends. That's the short breakdown. We have a full guide on our YouTube channel as well. If you would like any more details, I'm sure I go into way more detail in our older video as well. So if you're interested in that, definitely go check that out. So the only other thing that you do need to know is submissions close about an hour to an hour and a half before the show. Just get a quick head count and really see what our show is going to look like. Because, of course, we are a live show. So we want to get a quick head count to see, what we're looking at and things like that. And on top of it, we just want to make sure that we keep the show free flow and we don't get any late submissions as well. So that's a big thing. You have about 6.5 days, probably like more. It's like just about 7 days to submit, because submissions do close on the day of. So submissions go live every Tuesday after the show. So if you're watching the show here live, today is June 19th. If you're watching this on YouTube, submissions are definitely already live. So definitely go check our Twitter media, our social media, and go submit. But other than that, we are good to go, chat. Let's hop right into reactions and reviews. So, let's count how many of our Patreons are down below. I saw a couple, but I'm not sure who we have here. So we got Blank Thought. Blank Thought is definitely coming through. We got SLM for sure. King Mark, I'm back, shorty. Let's get it. And TDG. So we have 4 of our Patreons tonight. So I believe first on the list was Blank Thought, right? Yeah, Blank Thought always comes through. Being number 1. It's kind of crazy. But Blank Thought, a very, very talented alternative hip hop producer, and mainly just hip hop producer, submitted a track titled Nameless. Brand new. I am kind of curious to see what we have here, chat. So we're going to crack this open a new tab and see what we have. Now, okay. So I assume Blank Thought produced this, yeah? I could probably go ahead and assume that. Or I could be wrong. Let's check the creds. I think so. Yeah, I think so. So this is like a crazy ass collab then. Holy shit. Okay. Let's get into it. Blank Thought, Nameless.
Yeah, I'm at the brim of our purpose, cause I've been dispersing verses for generational curses before we all up in hearses, I had some buffers on demons, delayed the mission, got up and took the licks while I was moving, made the vision, audience inside, audio spaces of patient sinners, got sun, staying above the most high, like paganism, lost soul, my thoughts get dark as charcoal, when danger visits I go cold but never fold, what was told was majorly different, who you? Just a nigga snapping cycles of redundancy, pushing through the brighter days, no matter who don't fuck with me. I fight to reach potential, and lately, trying to run the peaks of sin for the heavens and hosts. That's where the love will be. I'm back. Who told you that y'all could fuck with me? I'll let y'all have y'all time, bitch. I'm back, and our numbers doubling, tripling. Understand there's a message to what a brother speak, but try to fuck with me. There's no empathy when I dump the piece. It's bare Vaughn, bitch. I've been nice since 7-1. Got to battle rap and went on a run. God's back to 7-1. God's knowledge spilled on the grind if he ever tried with us. Bear Fuse been gone a whole fucking year and still ahead of bumps. You niggas suck. And that was fucking light, elevated past you niggas, but I still take your life. Won't get to make it home if you ever try to slide. How the fuck they be comparing a bear to you fucking mice, huh?
He snapped. That was crazy. That was really, really crazy. Wow. Both of their verses were like really fucking good. Like I was trying to think, like, damn. It was like they were like different, but like they were both like equally as good. Like I don't think one was better than the other there, if I'm being honest with you. But there's a lot to break down about this beat, so let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about 3 things. We're talking about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Nameless. This is gonna be interesting. So, let's talk instrumental. Mix is stellar. Particularly the bass is fucking crazy. I'm a big fan of this mix for sure. Um, but again, nothing clashing to overbearing at all. I like the drums a lot. Like everything kind of has a lot of personality to it, which is nice. Um, Everything's real level. Everything cuts through nicely. Like no gripes with the mix whatsoever. But that's pretty much a standard with Blank Thought by now. That's definitely something that we're used to. But we always got to point out, you know what I mean? So, um, mix is great, but man, the melody has so much like it's so theatrical and has like so much personality to it. But these drums, like I'm like a real sucker for like these kind of hard hitting drums, but they're not like overbearing. I like drums like this a lot. So I'm kind of torn on what the Shining Star would be here. Because I'm really big on both. I love the melody, but these drums like not only give it the bounce, but it has that it just cuts right through the vocals, cuts right through everything, and just kind of like has its own space, and it's solid. It knocks. So I kind of do want to say drums because like the melody it's got a lot of personality, but I could be biased with the drums, but I fuck with the drums a lot. So drums are definitely a shining star. More in particular like the sound selection as well. Like I feel like the sound selection with the drums, now I think about it, is really crazy. So yeah, definitely the drums. So the instrumental gas, definitely great. Let's talk vocals. Vocals, a lot to dissect here, but let's just start off with the mix. Mix is great per usual. I don't feel like it was off balance. Everything was nice and even. Again, like I said, the drums cut through nicely. The vocals sit well in the instrumental. Um, I don't feel like they differentiated at all when it comes to like vocal mixing. I feel like both these verses like sound good together. So I definitely think that's a positive. Um, Mix is great, you know what I mean? Again, Blank Thought track probably gonna have a good mix. Pretty safe guess from all across the board for sure. Um, so vocal mix is great, but this is like a heavy hitting track, and it's only what 2 minutes. It's too flat, but there's so much lyrical content here that I think you could really dissect this for quite a bit. But it's definitely um a big showcase of lyricism from both artists. Um, I like the amount of like confidence and aggression from both verses as well. Again, I feel like this is just like a really good duo. They just sound really solid on this track. Like both of their writing, like super fire. But I'm more, I'm more inclined to think about their delivery and kind of like how well they matched up together, and how like effortlessly it transitioned into each verse, and like they're both just so confident. It's hard not to like it. You know what I mean? It's pretty hard not to enjoy something like this, especially with the instrumental. So I'm gonna go ahead and say delivery, like 100%. And right behind that's like flow and cadence, and then right behind that's definitely writing. Um, you know, they're both very obviously talented writers, right? And it's a great showcase of lyricism. But when it comes to like delivery and like actually having confidence and being believable on a track and things like that, I feel like this one definitely hit all the check boxes for me. Definitely. Definitely. So let's talk theme. Aesthetics. I'm big on this cover, man. It has that like watercolor, like old school painting kind of feel, but reminds me of like those like really big old forests with like those massive trees, and it's just something you'd see. I don't know, like it's such a nostalgic, specific feeling. I'm definitely big on this cover for sure. Um, and I believe this track's in a project. Um, yeah. So definitely like project worthy in my opinion. Like definitely. Yeah, 100%. So aesthetics on point. Um, hmm. Overall theme, like I said, this is definitely more of like a showcase of lyricism. So like I'm not too sure there's like like a underlying theme that you could really like super break down here, because we just have two really talented writers that know how to write bars, like real bars. So that's the other thing here you got to consider is like sometimes there's never going to be like a clear like okay, the song's about this, I need you to write about this kind of like conversation that happens. Sometimes people just go on and spit, and like um that's what like has to happen sometimes to make a lot of these like really really like amazing hip hop tracks. You know what I mean? It's so much more about the writing itself than it is like a theme or things like that. So this is definitely like a really great showcase of lyricism. But I can imagine this whole project is filled with like a bunch of really nutty shit. If I'm being honest with you, it's got to be. It's got to be. Like not even a question. Not even a question. So yeah, that was a pleasure. Huge shout out to Blank Thought. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Blank Thought on Twitter, and make sure you follow everybody involved with this project as well. That'll be linked in the description. And of course, like I said, make sure you follow Blank Dot on Twitter. Blank Dot is approaching 960, literally one away. So go show Blank some love. Very talented producer. And of course, make sure you show every artist some love, because every artist will be featured in the description of every episode. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subscribers now, which is kind of crazy, man. Closing in on the fucking 200, all right? Closing in on the 200. And of course, make sure you subscribe if you have not already, because we upload every Thursday and Saturday. Underground tips and tricks, exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, all that good stuff is available on the channel. So make sure you go show the channel some love. King Mark, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. What's going down? We just got through our very first submission, and up next is the homie SLM. Wrote this song for someone, Prod Dead Lighters. Oh man. We're about to get real, huh? We are definitely about to get real. Okay. So, SLM. A very talented vocalist, producer, a whole lot of other things. But Music Money's Patreon, and our second submission of the night, submitted a track titled Looking Up at the Stars, Prod Deadlighters. Looking Up at the Stars. Vibing, sliding the crown, excited for today's episode. Let's fucking get it, baby. Yeah, I'm very, very curious about this one. Very, very curious. So let's take a look here. Wait, did this have a different cover? Okay, yeah, it did. I thought I was tripping. Alright. Art by Michael. Huge shout out to Michael. I kinda had a feeling. Oh man. SLM, Looking Up at the Stars, Prod Deadlighters. Let's get into it. I'm excited for this one.
I felt bad, I felt hard, looking up at the stars. In the grass from the yard, it really doesn't look that far. Can we go? Come with me. We can see the moon to start. It really doesn't look that far. It really doesn't look that far. And it could be light years, but I need this night here. Looking up at the stars. Looking up at the stars. Looking up at the stars.
Damn. That was a really like that was like I love how like peaceful that was. I feel like that was like such a good like night drive, summertime like fire, like out by the pool. Like yeah, I get a very like kind of relaxing vibe from this. Definitely. Um so let's break this one down. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of looking up at the stars. Um, so let's talk instrumental. Mix is great. I actually am a big fan of this mix. I feel like this is like a perfect mix. I'm not gonna lie. I can't see this mix getting like any more crispier than it currently is. To be honest, it's perfect from drums to leveling to how everything cuts through. I'm big on it. I'm definitely big on the mix for sure. So, Shining Star with the instrumental. Um, hmm. This melody had like a big influence on how like relaxing this track like ultimately is. But the drums are really special too. Um, I don't know though, cause the melody really did it for me though. I think I might go ahead and say the melody if I'm being completely honest with you. I think I might. Cause like it just was so relaxing and the drums gave it like just a slight bounce though. But the drums were also equally as peaceful, so probably the melody. Probably the melody for sure. Uh yeah, okay. It was Prod Deadlight. I thought so. I thought so. Okay. Um because SLM and Anthony are just like such a great duo that um most of the time anything with Deadlighters and vocals on it is gonna be really solid. So when it comes to this, definitely the melody. Definitely the melody for sure. Um talk vocals here. I feel like this is like a different type of SLM. It wasn't that far off than like what we're used to, right? Like I wouldn't say it's like an insane jump, but it's definitely like a little bit more peaceful than usual. It definitely has a little bit more it's just a little bit more vibey than usual. Um like everything's vibey from SLM, but vibey in the aspect of like it's very chill. Like I instantly got like the highway nighttime summer sitting by the fire kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So it was like just good vibes, I want to say. Like that was the thing I got from this like right off the bat from vocals. Cuz like I said, everything from SLM is like really solid, but when it comes to like moods, this one definitely had like a slight like good vibe to it. Um which I found really interesting. Um but when it comes to the mix, very solid. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Instrumental cuts through nicely. Usually can expect that from SLM. There aren't many tracks, if any, that have been having a questionable mix from SLM. It's a pretty that's a pretty rare thing. So mix is solid, but not a surprise. But you always want to mention it as well. So hmm um man, I love the writing. Like the writing was a big part of this being like very chill for me. But I feel like the flow and cadence gave it that like summertime vibe for me. I don't know why, but I feel like this is just a very like summer late night kind of track. And that was, you know, due in part to the flow and cadence. You know, maybe you might feel differently personally, but like on first listen, that's kind of like how it struck for me, you know? So that was like something like I like absolutely noticed. Um But writing is really solid too, though. So like, hmm, hmm, yeah, it's got to be Flow and Cadence, just because it's so bouncy and it goes so well with the drums and things like that. Yeah, it's got to be. So instrumental solid, vocals definitely solid. Let's talk theme. Uh, from the next SLM project, Stars, Light, Moons. So this could either be full project art or this is just like temporary single art. That artwork's so crazy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too. What was like this could totally go for like single art, or this could like be project art. Like 100% it could be. 100% it could be. Um, but regardless, I love the color palette. It's very limited to like that orange, like red, kind of white, and um much like SLM's kind of usual aesthetic, this goes like right in line with the reds, the oranges, the yellows, the kind of like lighter approach, but it's not exactly lighter. You know what I'm saying? But Michael Monago is like really, really talented, so no surprise that he snapped on this for sure. But I'm definitely a big fan of the art. It could really pass as a single or a project cover, though. You know what I mean? Like you could get away with both, because like I think it's worthy of both for sure, 100%. Especially with this title, yeah, definitely, definitely. So aesthetics are great. Overall theme. I mean, it's kind of like in the title, right? SLM's kind of expressing like light emotions, not as like heavy and personal as usual. Um, definitely has like a more lighthearted feel to it when it comes to writing and kind of like that fantasy, but like bring yourself back down to reality kind of feel. But it's also like still just like I said, like very lighthearted kind of like I wouldn't call it a personal theme, but it's definitely like a more an emotional theme in a good way, though. You know what I mean? Like in a good way. It's definitely like an emotional ballad, but it's lighthearted. It brings like a good feeling and like good vibrations for sure. Definitely, definitely. But like mainly the stars aspect of this all just reminds me so much of summertime and like warm weather at night and things like that. So I feel like SLM really like hit the nail on the head, getting that like summer nighttime looking up the stars kind of feel. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it was really on point, like without a doubt. At least that's how I resonated with it for sure. And it's tagged R&B and soul, so I definitely agree. It's definitely more on the, like that laid back kind of chill vibe, like 100%. So with that said, huge shout out to SLM. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow SLM on SoundCloud. Literally 5 away from 70, man. Great milestone. And of course, make sure you follow SLM on Twitter. 3 follows away from 330. Go show SLM some love on the bird. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure to subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subaroonies on the main channel. 190 is actually nuts, chat. 190. I can't even believe I'm actually saying that already. Um, fuck. That's kind of cooked. But for those of you that already subbed, thank you. We appreciate you. We see you dropping likes, dropping comments. And if you have not, we upload every Thursday and Saturday. Go check us out. Full podcast episodes, underground tips and tricks, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff's available over there. So go show these artists on the channel some love. So, up next, we got the homie King Mark. Now, it's been a while since we've heard from King Mark. Well, not really. I guess it's only been like a couple weeks. I think we've heard from Mark a little while ago, but it definitely was a bit ago. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. But Mark has had a really consistent 2023, 100%. Very very talented alternative pop artist. But definitely multi-genre talented as well. And they submitted a track titled Girls, Prod Davy. let's see what we got here, because I assume this will be a unreleased exclusive King Mark track. So, oh yeah, it is. It definitely is. Okay. So you're hearing this first here on Music Mondays, my friends. Let's see what we got here. This is definitely what we'd expect from a King Mark cover. But I definitely have some thoughts on that for sure. But we'll totally like talk about that. Okay, lyrics and description. This will be excellent. All right, let's get into it. Exclusive unreleased King Mark premiering on Music Mondays. Girls.
Is this Davy?
Damn. That transition was crazy. Okay, this was really nutty. This was really, really nutty. I love how fast paced this was, but it was still like very chill as well. Like it definitely gave like a very chill kind of vibe. So much to discuss here. TDG, what's good? Welcome on in. Happy Monday. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Girls. I kind of like this theme as well. But we'll get there. So, let's talk instrumental. Mix is solid. Nothing clashing too overbearing at all. I like the levels. Everything cuts through nice. Males are great. Yeah, no gripes with the instrumental mix at all. I definitely think Davey did a good job with sound selection and whatnot for sure. Shining star of the instrumental. The drums are super bouncy, super fast pace. But this melody is like everything in this track. I don't know what it is. It's super has like a good vibe to it again. You know what I mean? And it has it's like slightly emotional vibe, but it's not all the way emotional. You know what I mean? It's giving very much a feeling of like almost kind of like a beach vibe, something of that nature. But I'm a big fan of it either way. I definitely like the melody and choice. But again, it's hard to ignore the drums and like um how like bouncy and like consistent they were. Like but I really do like the melody though, so like fuck. Um I'll have to go. Yeah, probably the melody, just because I love how much emotion is in it, and it feels personal, and it just kind of like sets the stage for these drums as well. So definitely the melody for sure, um, without a doubt. But but um, let's talk vocals here. So mix mix is really solid. Nothing clashing too overbearing at all. Vocals sit nice on the beat. Much like TDG said in the chat, King Mark floats on this beat. I am inclined to agree, to be honest with you. I definitely feel like Mark sounds really solid on this beat. Vocals sit nice. Flows great on it, but everything cuts through nicely as well when it comes to the drums and things like that. And the mix is by King Mark, which is like actually awesome. Because Mark has just been like steadily improving like their own like personal mixing skills and things like that. So that's like really fucking fire. That's like really fire. So, um, mix is really solid when it comes to vocals. Especially when Mark does their version of pitching vocals. I definitely feel like Mark does a really good job. Um, but Shining Star with the vocals, man, there's a lot I like in here. From flow and cadence to writing to just kind of like overall delivery. There's a lot I like about these vocals. I could say writing. Writing's definitely a good one. I definitely feel like I could say writing. Um, hmm. But Mark's flow has developed like so like in just like a steady way over the course of the last few months that like flow and cadence are a big one, but hmm. I like the writing though, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with writing. I'm gonna have to go with writing 100%. Um, just because Mark is one of those artists who makes it super easy for you to like envision like what's going on in their song and then like in their mind and like the points that they're trying to get across. Um, so definitely writing for sure. So instrumental solid. Definitely enjoy the melody. Vocals are great. Definitely enjoy the writing. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. This is like more of like a modern King Mark cover. That's what I was gonna say earlier, but I just wanted to wait until we were like actually discussing the theme. But it definitely brings like a more modern King Mark feel, which I don't think is like a bad thing at all. It's just definitely less nostalgic and like retro than the usual King Mark covers. So I definitely feel like this one brings like a new age, if you will, kind of look, which I like. I think it's solid to like switch it up every once in a while. This one's bringing like a very just like modern look, you know. So I like this one a lot for sure. And of course you have the like standard King Mark font and just like that slight edits, not too oversaturated, you know. Well done. Okay, so overall theme. This is like a song about one person in particular, but titling it "Girls" was kind of cool in the aspect that like you you could enjoy this song for like the sonic aspects of it, or you could enjoy this song for like how much you relate to it. Because whether you like relate directly to King Mark and like how Mark is feeling like on this track, I definitely feel like you can relate to it in some form or fashion. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like just kind of like uh just kind of like broadening the subject, but like Mark just kind of taking like um their experience. You know what I mean? So like it makes the track like uh it brings longevity and people are going to be more inclined to like see what this track titled Girls is about because it's wrapped up in Mark's kind of experience right now in June 2023. You know what I mean? So I think that kind of thing is like really, really solid. I like that a lot. Kind of like a broad theme, but it gets broken down during the song and relatively obvious to visualize. So well done. You know what I mean? I like it. With that said, huge shout out to King Mark. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Mark on SoundCloud. Literally 9 followers away from 180, a great milestone. And of course, make sure you follow King Mark on Twitter. 5 away from 300, man. 5 away. Damn. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to Music Money's YouTube channel, man. We are approaching 190 subscribers, and then after that, it's road to 200. So we just gotta hit the 190, man. Let's get it. I think we're about like 9 away. And if you've already subscribed, you're dropping likes, comments, you're showing love on the channel, you're doing anything. I don't care if you're just fucking clicking on the video. You guys are amazing, and thank you for showing love. We upload every Thursday and Saturday. So full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good stuff's available there. So go show the channel and notice some love. Always, brother, much love. Thank you so much for your submission, Mark. I love you, my friend. We'll talk soon. You know, my song Make It Back will be on my debut album, The To-Do List. Get ready. Let's get it, TDG. And speaking of TDG, up next, we have TDG, a very talented alternative hip-hop artist. And they submitted a track titled Make It Back, which TDG just said in the chat. It will be on their debut album, The To-Do List. Make It Back, prod and performed by me, mixed and mastered by Cole Gerard. Every day going forwards and back towards where nothing's at. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We'll pop it open a new tab. Pause it right quick. 1 day ago, and it's private, so we have an exclusive Music Money's premiere on the podcast here live of Make It Back. I like this cover a lot. If this is gonna be like the full project cover, I definitely think this is solid. For sure. But even if it's just temporary, I still think it's solid. Again, proud and performed by me, mixed and mastered by Cole Gerard. I hope I make it back. What I lost, what I gained. Okay, minute 48. Damn. Okay, we got some short TDG up in this. All right. I'm definitely excited to see what we got here. Exclusive Music Money's premiere, unreleased TDG. Make It Back.
Was just some kids kicking back in the cul-de-sac, buying G's and quarter sacks, spending rags. Hope we make it back.
Okay.
Hope we make it back. Was just some kids kicking back in the cul-de-sac, buying G's and quarter sacks, spending rags. Hope we make it back. Every day going forwards and back towards where nothing at. Go yeah, holding back. What is death? What is next? Life a bitch, want them dressed. Get set, keep the steps, beat the stress, be blessed. Time is up next. Things you gotta trust it. Takes time, don't you rush it. Won't be a sudden. Trying to get my wings to flap. Singing, but the crowd won't clap. World turned its back. Reality, that's a slap. Whoa, in the storm, I still got my sail up. I'm sailing. I'm in the coffin, just not nailed in. This a test, feels like I'm failing. That's okay, I'll write it out. I ain't bailing. Trying to flip the switch, flip the script, to pick the pick, flick the dirt off my wrist, shine on the way up on a lift. Whoa. Was just some kids kicking back in the cul-de-sac, buying G's and quarter sacks, spending rags, hope we make it back. Every day going forwards and back towards where nothing at. Go yeah, holding back. What is death? What is next? What is death? What is next? What is death? What is next?
Okay. Like, what? Alright. Like, damn. Alright. Like, I have a lot to say about this. I'm thoroughly impressed. First off, I just really like the quality of this track. You know, everything from start to finish, I feel like was like really top quality. Just improved TDG, you know? So shoot, let's break this down. We'll talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Make It Back. Okay, let's talk instrumental. This is produced by TDG. And to no shocker, it has a really solid mix. That's something that we've grown to become accustomed to with TDG instrumentals. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. Levels are solid. Everything cuts through nicely. I think the vocals sit nicely on the instrumental, especially with the kind of the stutters and the smaller effects in this instrumental. I feel like everything was mixed to a T. So the mix is solid. Shining Star, I like the structure a lot. I'm a big fan of the drums and the mel, but the structure and kind of like the smaller things throughout the instrumental, I really feel like kicked this off and really made it like a super like unique but consistent instrumental. So definitely structure for sure. So instrumental solid. I'm a big fan of the structure. Let's talk vocals here. So mix and master by Cole Gerard. So I mean, not really a shocker that the vocals are super crisp. We are no stranger to Cole Gerard and how they kind of handle vocals, right? I definitely think Cole did a really good job when it comes to this mix, keeping it super raw but super crisp at the same time, nice and loud but not too loud. And again, the instrumental cuts through nicely. I like the way the vocals sit on the instrumental. Mix is all around very solid, for sure. I like the writing a lot, but I'm big on the flow and cadence too. But what definitely won me over when it comes to the vocals was the hook. Um, because most of you know now that we're no stranger to TDG tracks on the show here, right? So, this may be one of my favorite TDG hooks. I don't know if it's like the best. I think that's definitely more of a preference, but it's definitely one of my favorite TDG hooks as far as like writing goes. So writing's definitely a shining star, but more in specifically the hook definitely kind of won me over and pushed me over the edge for this track. Definitely. So the instrumental solid, structure for sure. The vocals were solid. Definitely a big fan of the hook. Um, let's talk theme. So aesthetics. We have white the cover here. As I said, I don't know if this is going to be complete final art or even if it's just temporary art. I definitely think this is solid. Either way, like I'm just a fan of this picture. Minimalistic, super simplistic, but definitely gets the job done when it comes to like how unique TDG's tracks are. I usually find that TDG's art is just as unique. Definitely a good choice. Um, Overall theme, make it back. TDG definitely touches on a little bit of like childhood nostalgia or even just overall nostalgia. And make it back definitely is a phrase that is used quite a few times. And there's a lot of lyrics that kind of support the multiple angles of making it back, right? Because you could spend a bunch of money on something and you'd have to make your money back, or just kind of making back your time, or making sure that things that you spend your time on are worth it. You know what I mean? So it's really all about just kind of like seizing the opportunity, but at the same time, um, you know, there's like a couple different ways you could really break this down, and it's kind of an interesting track for that aspect as well. But it always wraps back around to this kind of like nostalgic hook, and that's what I really like about this theme is you could like break down different sections, but I do feel like it's a very nostalgic, written from the past, but you're in the present kind of track, for sure. So this is a really solid theme, and I think it's worth listening, just for that aspect of it. And it has enough replayability to where you could break down those lyrics for sure. So with that said, a huge shout out to TDG. Thank you so much for this submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow TDG on SoundCloud. Literally 3 followers away from 980. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in a YouTube re-upload. And make sure you follow TDG on Twitter. Literally 8 follows away from 160, my friends. Go show TDG some love on the Bird app. And that does it for all of our Music Mondays Patrons. Huge shout out to all of our Patrons that submitted tonight: Blank Dot, SLM, King Mark, and TDG. And huge shout out to the rest of our Patreon squad: Ryuki, Cole Gerard, and the other shall not be named government Patreons that we have on there as well. Huge shout out to all you guys and everybody else that is showing love on the Patreon. We are very close to doing our first merch drop with our Patreon funding, so keep your eyes peeled for that. So let's get it. Let's hop right into our community submissions for the night. So we are at the top again, and up next we got the homie Lil Wet Wet, aka Patterns. Now, Patterns has been fucking killing it this year. We are 6 months into 2023, and they have just dominated. Truly, truly dominated. From collabs to shows to singles to just so much stuff, right? So much stuff. But this week they submitted a track titled Sex Symbol. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We'll pop it open in a new Tabaroonie. Blam! Pause it right quick. Lyrics and description. Produced by I Don't Trust Lando. Vox, Mix, and Master by Lil Wet Wet. Cover art by Lil Wet Wet. Modeled by AZ Bug and Lil Wet Wet. Oh man. I'm not even gonna read those yet. Let's get into it. Lil Wet Wet, Sex Symbol. Let's go. It's gonna be crazy.
I don't trust Lando.
Holy shit. What the fuck? I just can't believe fucking Pattern just came in and just destroyed that like that. Holy shit. Minute 23 and I felt like we just got told the story so fast. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief. Okay, man, oh man, oh man. Alright, let's break this down. We're talking about 3 things. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Sex Symbol. So let's talk instrumental. Don't Trust Lando. I don't think we've reacted to any tracks from these two together before. If we have, it's definitely been a while. But yeah, when it comes to the mix, it's fucking solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. Drum selection is great. Mel's great. Structure's very, very like on point. Yeah, no gripes with the mix whatsoever. Especially when it comes to the instrumentals, super, super solid, super well rounded, definitely. Hmm. I'm big on these drums just because of how well they cut through the vocals and just have like such a prominent role. But I'm big on this melody too. Structure's a close one there because you know that could be something very underrated. That you know you could kind of neglect to talk about, but Structure's really solid, really solid in this instrumental for sure. Um, Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with drums just because of how hard hitting they are and how like fast paced and bouncy they are. It just keeps the flow of the song like super solid. So definitely the drums for sure. Um, let's talk vocals. So um, I mean the mix is great. That's something you can always expect with a little wet. Like this mix is super fucking solid. Um, you know the instrumental cuts through nicely. Vocals sit really solid on this instrumental. It's really not a surprise, but you always got to talk about it and recognize it for sure. Just because the mix is just so well done and super crispy. Especially when it comes to like how Patterns likes to mix. Definitely. Um, you know, I'm big on the writing in this for sure. I think Lil Wet is just such a talented writer, but the flow and cadence and how like confident Lil Wet is on this track is definitely the thing that won me over. The delivery, the flow and cadence, it just made you want to be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? It was super confident, super like just in your face, you know what I mean? And I love when Patterns kind of like um takes that like confident route, especially with the instrumentals like this. So definitely flow and cadence for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocals are great, definitely flow and cadence. Let's talk theme. So many of you guys know how I feel about the IRL kind of approach, right? Because I feel like the IRL approach is like super safe, but it's a very like intimate way to like interact with supporters and people that like want to get into your music, right? It's like a super solid way to like get shit done. And I feel like this direction, especially with the track title, was perfect. This was perfect. Super simple, super high quality though, and super like just boom. Like if you really like this song, you'll always remember that cover. 100% you will. 100%. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme. A sex symbol is definitely referring to, you know, obviously the hook, right? But it has definitely like such a deeper meaning to Lil Wet and kind of uh just like what it means to them and really like their kind of like there are so many things in this track that kind of it's just dripping with confidence. There's so much confidence throughout this whole track, but it all gets wrapped into this hook. And it's like, oh man. And that's why I say like the delivery and the flow and cadence was so important because I feel like it emphasized a lot of these lyrics and made it just a very I wouldn't say it's like super cocky, but it's just confident. You know what I mean? It's just fucking confident. And that's what I really like about this one. Like super confident and it's believable, right? Like Lil Wet is very believable on this track for sure. So I love the theme. I really do. 100%. Well done, my friend. Make sure you follow Lil Wet on SoundCloud. Literally 10 away from 600, man. That is a nice milestone. And of course, make sure you follow Lil Wet on Twitter. Literally 8 followers away from 350. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel because every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, we upload every Thursday and Saturday. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subroonies on the main channel. So go check out the main channel and go show these artists some love. And if you haven't, we upload every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. So go show these artists and the channel some love. Let's get it, baby. So, man, oh man, oh man, we are well underway into our community submissions of the night chat. Let's get into it. Up next, we got the homie Lil Teflon. I believe we reacted to Lil Teflon last week for like the first time in like quite a while. So that was a real pleasure. Super talented hip hop artist. And they submitted a track titled Good Vibes. I feel like everybody's just on their summer shit. Like, I really feel like everybody's just, like, on that summer shit. It's kind of crazy. Like, I've just gotten a lot of, like, good, like, summer vibe feel for some reason. Like, I just feel like that's, like, the common theme for tonight. So let's pop this open a new tab and see what Lil Teflon has for us this week on the show. June 1st. So this is literally brand new. Well done. Okay, so let's get into this. A little Teflon, good vibes.
Yeah. What a time to be alive. Gotta strive for greatness. We just came to have fun. Yeah. This beat made me feel good. I mean, real good. Wake up in the morning, count your blessings type of feeling. I know you feel it. Good vibes on this side, that's what I really need. I really came from nothing, baby, I gotta eat. I'm really trying to do my best to stay up out the streets, and I'ma make it to the top as long as I believe. Good vibes on this side, that's what I really need. I really came from nothing, baby, I gotta eat. I'm really trying to do my best to stay up out the streets, and I'ma make it to the top as long as I believe. Yeah, I'm just a young nigga from the city, gotta keep myself
Damn.
Cause there's trouble all around me, I ain't trying to see the county, so I stay on the grind. There's money on my mind. Real love is hard to find, but everything take time. Stay strong, get my mind right. I failed once, but I can't fail again twice. I'm too nice, gotta fight to the end. Cause I was born to win, get a pad and a pen, and write that when I'm feeling. Put it in music even when I'm going through it. Try to play me like I'm stupid, got you looking real foolish. I'ma shine like the sun, swear to God I'm number one. Shoot for the star, don't need a gun. We just came to have fun, pick up the phone and call my mama when I hear a voice. I gotta move out the hood, I ain't got a choice. Live, laugh, love, all the above. We don't need drugs or a club. Now my time coming, I'm not in a rush. Let's ride, see the sunrise. I really do see something different looking in your eyes. My ride or die, don't cry. I'ma be here when the sun come up. Of course they hating, we in love, so what? Come out the store inside my building, almost got caught stealing. If it happened, no more chilling. They gon' treat me like a villain. Got through pain with some healing. Now I got a good feeling. Tell my money touch the ceiling. I'ma hustle for these millions. Good vibes on the side, that's what I really need. I really came from nothing, baby, I gotta eat. I'm really trying to do my best to stay up out the streets, and I'ma make it to the top as long as I believe. Good vibes on this side, that's what I really need. I really came from nothing, baby, I gotta eat. I'm really trying to do my best to stay up out the streets, and I'ma make it to the top as long as I believe. Middle finger to a hater, blow a kiss at the waiter. Flirt with her, get a number, then I'm calling her later. Shoot my shot, gotta take a chance. Asking for another dance, need that money in advance. Wanna take a trip to France. Money bad, chain piece hanging from my neck. Know it costs to be the boss, so a nigga got a floss on the block. Only got one life to live, fingers crossed, dream big. Know I'm down forever, never switch. Take my pick, get the whole fit, make it look good. See me stepping on my undiscovered legend in the hood. Doing everything we could, but we so misunderstood. I'm everything they wanna be, that's why they give me all them looks. At the ball, pull me up, take a shot, fill my cup. When we make it, know they gon' really hate it. When we up, at the ball, pull me up, taking shots, fill my cup. When we make it, know they gon' really hate it. When we up, what's up? Yeah.
Let's fucking go, baby. Much to discuss here. All right, so, Good Vibes was like the key here, like the absolute fucking key. Absolutely, for sure. So, man, let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Good Vibes. Man, oh man, oh man. So the instrumental, let's start off with the mix. The mix is great. Nothing clashy to overbearing at all. Um, a vocal sit nice. Drums were fucking actually really solid. I'm a huge, huge fan of the drums, definitely. Um, but again, overall, super crisp, clean mix when it comes to the instrumental. So, Shining Star. I mean, I feel like the melody was like super. It's just a big part of the good vibes here. But again, there could be um like the drums and like the structure. Like I just the drums bring so much like aggression, but it doesn't take away from the good vibes at all. But the structure, like following it, is like insane, like really really insane. So I might just say structure, just because I love how some of these drops come back in, and like how the overall instrumental was structured was like really solid. So definitely structure, 100%. Um, let's talk vocals. So instrumental solid, definitely structure was a shining star for sure. Um, yeah, let's talk vocals. Um, 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 So the vocal mix was great. I'm slowly becoming to be a big fan of Lil Teflon and their vocals. Like most of the instrumentals that we've heard, their vocals are super crisp on. Everything cuts through nicely. They sit nice on the instrumental, nothing clashing to overbearing, fighting for space or anything like that. So the vocal mix is very solid, very raw but not too raw at all. Still has like that crisp feel to it. Um, Shining Star, I want to say writing, but it definitely might be the hook. Like the hook just again brings that like summertime, like good vibes kind of feel, you know what I mean? And here we are with a song called Good Vibes. Like 100% it's all on the hook. Like I do feel like the verses were like a super big supporter here, but the hook just kind of ties it all together for me. So definitely the hook. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Hmm. Uh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So instrumental solid. Um, definitely the structure. Vocal solid. Definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. So overall theme, relatively obvious, but let's start with the aesthetics here. So, we have a wonderful cover here. It kind of brings that like early, like maybe like 80s to like 2000s kind of vibe a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting a little bit of that like kind of like 80s to like 2000s kind of vibe for sure. Um, yeah. Uh, I like the font choice and I like how simple it is. You know, you just add the parental advisory, you kind of take the font for Little Teflon and you're good to go. So, hmm, yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Um, definitely like a single worthy cover as well. But again, it just brings that summer kind of vibe, so I like that choice a lot, like for sure. Overall theme. I mean, relatively obvious, right? Like good vibes. You know, we're just kind of bringing in the summertime. You know, you're just speaking positively throughout the whole song, but it's not like that corny kind of positive vibe. It has like an overall like pretty big positive vibe, which I like a lot. I'm big on that for this. And again, this is like the third summer song we've heard tonight, and this one kind of nailed it when it comes to like summer barbecues, chilling, fires, going on the beach, shit like that. Like just pure summer vibe. I feel like Lil Teflon nailed it. And there's so many different things that you could talk about like for the summer. So I feel like that's like on point. You know what I mean? Like the summer's like really easy to describe, but it's different for everybody. And I feel like a Lil Teflon really described like what their idea like of summer is and like what their ideal summer is like, So with that said, huge shout out to Lil Teflon. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. And of course, make sure you follow Lil Teflon on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Lil Teflon on Twitter as well. They're approaching 520 followers on the Bird app. Go show Lil Teflon some love, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subranies on the main channel, my friends. Go show everybody some love on the channel. And of course, if you've already subscribed, thank you so much. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. I see you dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff. Even if you're just watching the videos for like fucking a minute, we appreciate you. Thank you for showing support at Music Mondays. And if you haven't subbed, we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff is available on the channel. And of course, we appreciate you as well. But we are about halfway through the show, so you guys know the drill. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. I need all of you to get up, go get a snack, go get a drink, go do whatever you need to go do. And the Music Mondays podcast, episode 126, will be right back to go through the rest of our community submissions. Don't go anywhere. Go enjoy your snacks, go get a drink, go get a smoke, go do whatever you gotta do, and we'll be right back with Music Mondays. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Music Muddies podcast. I hope you had a good break. I hope you're chilling, but we are here live with episode 126, and we are going to hop right back into submissions. Up next, we got the homie Braden, and they submitted a track titled Ruthless. Another artist who's had a really stellar 2023, if I'm being honest. Braden's super fucking talented when it comes to vocals. So I'm really excited to see what we have in store this week. Let's pop this open a new tab and see what we got here. See, I definitely have some thoughts on the cover. I think this will be really cool because it was a bit of a switch up from the usual. But let's get into it. Braden Ruthless.
I don't need you in my life. Ever since we broke apart, you've been selling lies. Every single friend of mine, they be picking sides. Didn't even know how I felt inside. Now I know you're someone I despise. Nowadays I'm not confused no more. Nowadays I don't feel used no more. No, I'm not depressed because of you no more. I didn't think I could ever feel this sore. And all the blame's on me. I thought we were friends, I thought we were homies. I guess not, cause then you switched up. And now your girl's mad at you, get your bitch, bruh. And why you mad at me? I ain't do shit, I'ma be the villain, I'ma be ruthless. Lately I've been chillin', you guys are foolish. If you're gonna do something, then do it. I don't need you in my life. Ever since we broke apart, you've been selling lies. Every single friend of mine, they be picking sides. Didn't even know how I felt inside. Now I know you're someone I despise. Nowadays I'm not confused no more. Nowadays I don't feel used no more. No, I'm not depressed because of you no more. I didn't think I could ever feel this sore.
That hook is crazy. Well done. Well done. I'm definitely huge on that hook for sure. Okay. Let's break this one down because much to discuss. We're talking about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Ruthless. So, let's see here. Let's talk instrumental. So, mix is really solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. The drums are solid. Mel is solid. Everything's really well rounded when it comes to the instrumental. Really solid mix. So not really a shocker there. But you always got to point it out. Definitely the drums are the shining star here. The drums are so prominent and just play like such a big role in how much energy this song has. So I'm big on the drums and the drum patterns and the drum selection itself, definitely. So yeah, drums all day for sure. The instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocals. Man, oh man. So the vocal mix is great. Super raw but super crisp. It's not bringing like a lot of like bad frequencies. It's not clashing with anything. It's perfect. They sit wonderfully on the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely. But that's usually the standard with Braden. I'm not really too surprised, but again, something we always got to recognize as well. So the vocal mix is great. I love the delivery. I love the verses, but the hook is like really solid on this. I can't tell if it's the delivery or the writing or the combination of both, but I love the hook. Definitely the hook all day. The hook is just so well performed in this. Definitely. So, let's talk theme. So instrumental is super solid, definitely drums. Vocals are definitely solid, absolutely hook. Theme, aesthetics. Now, as I said, this is definitely slightly different than the Braden usual, right? We have this style on the right as opposed to this style on the left. The style on the left is giving like a very much like a vaporwave classic nostalgic style, which I really love. you know, as much as I love the consistency of Braden's covers, it's never a bad thing to switch it up, right? Like I think it's always like really cool to switch shit up like this. So definitely a solid cover in my book. You know what I mean? Like not even a question. So overall theme, Ruthless. Braden touches on a different side of like betrayal and like people kind of leaving your life, whether it be friends or relationships. This one's kind of like more on the friendship side of thing, and I feel like Braden was definitely getting a lot of thoughts out in terms of like how people can just like take random sides and just switch up even though they've known you for like the longest time. And Braden definitely got some like really solid thoughts off his chest during this track, so I really enjoy this theme a lot. But again, huge shout out to Braden. Thank you so much for your submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Braden on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow Braden on Twitter. They are approaching 30 followers, man. Only 4 away. Go show Braden some love. Super talented. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subscribers on the main Music Mondays YouTube channel. And if you already have, thank you so much. We appreciate you for showing love to the channel. And of course, if you haven't, we upload every Thursday and Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel. So go show the channel and these artists some love. Let's get it, baby. Up next, we got the homie Troy Van Dusen. It's been a while since we've heard from Troy. Very, very talented alternative producer. Slightly experimental as well, but they submitted a track titled Hard Work. Okay, Troy 2023 as well, so super, super new. Definitely excited to get into this one. All right, Troy, let's see what we're working with here this week. Troy Van Dusen, Hard Work. Let's get into it. Okay. Damn. Okay, Troy. Okay, I see you, Troy. Let's get it, baby. I love the kind of like alternative pop, slightly like dance vibe on this a lot. So let's break this down. We're gonna talk about two things because obviously no vocals. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, talk about the overall theme of Hard Work. So, let's talk mix. Mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. I like the drums on this one a lot. Drums definitely cut through nicely. Overall, a very solid, crisp mix for kind of like how bouncy and how wide a lot of these melodies are. The mix is really solid. I definitely like the mix a lot in terms of the instrumental. Shining Star, drums are a close second, but the melodies, were perfect. Definitely bring a lot of like electronic, alternative pop, dance vibes for sure. I feel like the melodies were perfect on this. Troy definitely nailed the mells. So the instrumental solid, definitely the melodies of the Shining Star. Um, let's talk theme. So many of you know my thoughts on real life cover art. I think this is one of the most solid Troy Van Dusen covers we've seen to date. Super simple, super kind of like safe, as in terms of like, let's just go with the IRL cover and call it a day. A slight edit here or there, and I feel like Troy did a really good job with this one, right? Because it's just always super safe to go with an IRL cover if you don't know really like what direction you want to go, or like you're not really looking to like go for like a crazy cover. I feel like the IRL direction is really solid, so really good choice. Well done. Okay, so overall theme, hard work. It definitely has that like get up and go kind of feeling, right? Like get up, start moving, dancing, things like that. Like I feel like hard work definitely is like a fitting title for a track like this, without a doubt, not even a question. Definitely nailed the theme when it comes to aesthetics and just the overall vibe of like hard work. So well done. And with that said, huge shout out to Troy Van Dusen. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Troy on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Troy on Twitter. Troy is approaching 970 followers on Twitter. They are literally 10 away. So go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subscribers on the Music Mondays main channel. We're about 9 subscribers away, so make sure you go sub the channel if you haven't already. And we upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff available on the channel. Go show these artists and the channel some love. And for those of you that have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, let's get it, baby. Up next, we have the homie Filter. Now, Filter has been absolutely destroying 2023 in terms of their submissions and things that we've premiered and all the unreleased we've heard. Filter has definitely been killing it. A definitely talented alternative vocalist submitted a track titled Casket. Let's see what we got here. So, exclusive unreleased Filter premiering only on Music Mondays. Casket. Let's see what we got here, chat. This is probably gonna be crazy, huh? And we got some lyrics in the description as well. Let's get into it. Filter, Casket.
I'ma put him in a casket. When I run up on him, he gon' ask me what's happening. Got that bitch kicking around like I'm slapping. Knowing all these talk my shit, yeah, I ain't capping. Pull on a bitch, I'ma put him in a casket. When I run up on him, he gon' ask me what's happening. Got that bitch kicking around like I'm slapping. Knowing all these talk my shit, yeah, I ain't capping. You weird, man. Yeah, pull up here, I'm a fear, man. I'ma make it hard, yeah, give it just serious, man. Pull up on your block, I'ma make it disappear, man. Another cup, I ain't talking about no beer, man. It's some shit that you never seen. Yeah, bullets in a strong that shoot you in your spleen. Yeah, you said that you've been hurting, I'll make you feel the pain. Yeah, pull up on that bitch, I'ma put him in a casket. When I run up on him, he gon' ask me what's happening. Got that bitch kicking around like I'm slapping. Knowing all these talk my shit, yeah, I ain't capping. Yeah, pull up on that bitch, I'ma put him in a casket. When I run up on him, he gon' ask me what's happening. Got that bitch kicking around like I'm slapping. Knowing all these talk my shit, yeah, I ain't capping.
So that was really crazy. I like the structure on this a lot. And I like the one verse a lot. I like a lot of this that's going on here. So let's break this one down. So, we're gonna talk about three things. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Casket. So, let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix is fucking really solid. I love the instrumental mix. Drums are great, nothing clashing to overbearing at all. Melody's great, vocals sit nice on the beat, everything cuts through nicely. No gripes with the instrumental at all. I love the mix for sure. And of course, Filter on the prod, so really well done. Shining Star gotta be the drums. The drums are super hard hitting, especially the 808. I love the 808 on this a lot. But the drum selection overall is really solid. Definitely the drums. Brings a lot of aggression, brings a lot of like hard hitting kind of bouncy feels to it for sure. So the instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is great. I love Filter's vocals. I love the way that they get mixed, and I just love the emotion in a lot of Filter's verses that we've heard throughout their submissions. Big fan of just the emotion and how well you can feel it. But as I said, everything cuts through nicely. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. Vocal mix is definitely solid. So delivery and cadence is really solid when it comes to the vocals, but the hook all day is what can sell you on this song 100% on the first listen. For sure, you're just going to fall in love with the hook. So the hook all day, for sure the hook. Yeah. So, instrumental solid. Definitely the drums. Vocals are absolutely solid. For sure the hook. Close second, definitely the flow and cadence. Overall performance was really solid. Per usual. But let's talk theme. So we have talked about this kind of childhood nostalgia cover a few times. But again, I'm a big fan of this for a single or a project. I mean, either way, I think whatever this gets used for is going to be really solid. But I believe it is a project because we've heard quite a few songs off of whatever this image is being used for. So again, I kind of like the nostalgic childhood feel, right? Like slight edits, and you can just always be safe with the IRL covers. You don't want to go too overboard and bring like a real personal, like nostalgic feel to cover art. I think this one definitely like solid, you know, really solid. So, aesthetics on point. Overall theme, I mean, Casket, right? Relatively obvious track title for what the hook is and things like that. But I do feel like Filter was able to get a lot of like inside thoughts out when it comes to like having beef with somebody or just like um somebody running their mouth about you and things like that. So Filter was able to like capture that feeling perfectly, and then naming it Casket, which was like the icing on the cake, and it was pretty much a no-brainer, right? So with that said, huge shout out to Filter. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Filter on SoundCloud. They are literally 4 follows away from 210. And of course, make sure you follow Filter on Twitter. They are 1 follower away from 20. Go show some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 Stubberoonies on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff is available on the channel. So go show the channel and these artists some love. And if you already have been showing likes, drop them comments, all that good stuff. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, and thank you, my friend. Thank you. So, let's get a chat. Up next, we got the homie Mac 2 Times. Now, Mac is a super talented alternative hip hop artist. They've been killing it with their submissions. They've had quite the amount of like really like upgraded advanced submissions in 2023. So Mac has just done like a wonderful job. Not only improving, but just really like going above and beyond, to be honest with you. So they submitted a track titled Calling Cap. Pop this open a new tab and see what we got here. Damn, this cover's crazy. What the fuck? Colin Cap. Okay. I don't like that like ironic kind of cover art style. I like that a lot. I definitely like that. Alright. Let's get into it. Mac 2 Times, Colin Cap.
force you to be with me. So you decide if you're gonna leave or stay. My ride or die. The next nigga won't treat you right. I bet you'll cry. I'm telling you, make up your mind. Don't waste my time. Right now I'm calling Cap. They said the truth will set you free. But when I told them my thoughts, that shit put me in a hole in this deep. Got me like calling Cap the way I'm begging no one need. She surprised me when she said she could no longer be with me. Right now I'm calling Cap. They said the truth will set you free. But when I told them my thoughts, that shit put me in a hole in this deep. Got me like calling Cap the way I'm begging no one need. She surprised me when she said she could no longer be. You say I'm cheating knowing that I'm hopeless. You gon' trust one of your friends knowing that shit is bogus. Like why she want you single, shorty stupid to a lowest. And I ain't never seen a so-called friend be so controlling. It's okay, you gon' regret it when I get a Lotus. Ain't talking about no flower, fuck you bitch, your back I'm smoking. Said I won't make it in life, deep down I hope you was trolling. Shorty, you lazy as fuck, so bitch, what does that mean you going? What does that mean you going? I won't force you to be with me. So you decide if you're gonna leave or stay. My ride or die. The next nigga won't treat you right. I bet you'll cry. I'm telling you, make up your mind. Don't waste my time. Right now I'm calling Cap. They said the truth will set you free. But when I told them my thoughts, that shit put me in a hole in this deep. Got me like calling Cap the way I'm begging no one need. She surprised me when she said she could no longer be with me. Right now I'm calling Cap. They said the truth will set you free. But when I told them my thoughts, that shit put me in a hole in this deep. Got me like calling Cap the way I'm begging no one need. She surprised me when she said she could no longer. So now we get into it, how you just gon' run away. I listen to your side, you plug your ears when it come to me. I question what I'm doing, deep down know that shit ain't okay. Just gonna take a break at this point, tired of calling you babe. I'm tired of fucking with bitches that's just gonna leave me and not even give me the love. I'm tired of passing my heart all around, I'm feeling like Tucker, I'm sort of love. Gotta just get to the rags, I'm unlocking on myself and start stacking shit up. Only thing I wanna do in my life is make everybody proud, that's up above. I won't force you to be with me, so you decide if you're gonna leave or stay. My ride or die, the next nigga won't treat you right. I bet you'll cry, I'm telling you, make up your mind. Don't waste my time. Right now I'm calling Cap, they said the truth will set you free. But when I told them my thoughts, that shit put me in a hole in this deep. Got me like calling Cap the way I'm begging no one need. She surprised me when she said she could no longer be with me. Right now I'm calling Cap, they said the truth will set you free. But when I told them my thoughts, that shit put me in a hole in this deep. Got me like calling Cap the way I'm begging no one need. She surprised me when she said she could no longer be with me.
Damn. Well fucking done, Mac. I love this instrumental choice a lot. I'm super big on the hook as well, so couple things here. So, let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things. We'll talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Calling Cap. So, let's talk instrumental. First of all, I just love the choice by Mac. I just think it's a really solid choice, to be honest with you. But as far as the mix goes, the mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Drums hit. Vocals sit really, really nicely on the instrumental. And yeah. So no gripes with the instrumental mix whatsoever. Really, really, really solid mix when it comes to that. Shining Star, definitely the melody. I love the melody. It brings a more like alternative kind of vibe to this, but the drums keep like the alternative trap hip hop vibe up. So definitely the melody. I'm big on the melody for sure. Let's talk vocals. So vocal mix is great. I love the kind of like reverby feel on Mac's vocals, especially as of lately. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. I feel like everything cuts through nicely, including drums. As again, like I said, the vocals sit really, really nice on the instrumental. Yeah, I'm big on this mix for sure. Shining Star is probably the hook, to be honest with you. I like the verses a lot, but the hook was like really like a big deal here. I'm big on this hook. You can just feel the passion in the Mac hook. I definitely feel like Mac like really leveled up on this hook, 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocals are solid, absolutely the hook. let's talk theme. So Colin Cap, I mean, realistically, you got the phone and track title Colin Cap, parental advisory bottom left. Simple but super HD and effective, and it's in that like Mac 2 times kind of like aesthetic. You know what I mean? It's definitely in that Mac 2 times kind of aesthetic. So I'm big on this. Big on this. So yeah. Perfect in the art direction, 100%. So overall theme, I mean, realistically, just calling people's bluff. You know what I mean? Calling the bluff of some metaphors or old sayings, or just overall calling people's cap and calling people's bluff, man. It's really what this is all about. And Mac wrote like a really solid song about this, if I'm being like completely honest with you. Really one of those themes that like almost anybody can get behind, and even if you're not necessarily like going through it at the same time, it's definitely one of those melodic, like hard-hitting songs you can get behind that you just know has like a powerful meaning. You know what I mean? So I feel like Mac has done like a really good job when it comes to like bringing the emotion out of themselves, but also like accurately describing what they're talking about. You know what I mean? So well done. And of course, make sure you follow Mac 2 times on SoundCloud. They are literally 5 followers away from 30. And of course, make sure you follow Mac 2 times on Twitter. They are 1 follower away from 120. That is a awesome milestone. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 sub-roonies on the main channel, so go show these artists and the channel some love. And subscribe if you haven't already, man. Like I said, we upload every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the main channel. So go show these artists in the main channel some love. And let's get it, baby. So, huge shout out to Mac 2 times. But up next, we got the homie, Lord Heretic, a very, very, very talented vocalist, writer, Music Monday staff member, and an all-around really, really solid community member in the underground. They submitted a track titled Harry World General, Prod Aesthetic Gloom. Now, this one is crazy. And the caption reads, I'm back. Like, fucking the Terminator, baby. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to pop this open a new tab. We're going to press pause on that. Prod Aesthetic Gloom. Got the official audio in there. Mixed by Freed. Art by MGD. Lots of love in the comments. Love that. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, so this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting one, my friends. So, let's get into it. Lord Heretic, Harry World General. Jesus. Well fucking done, man. This track is nutty. Much to break down here. A couple things to talk about. A couple really, really good things to discuss. So let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about three things. We're talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Harry World General. Okay, so overall instrumental. So aesthetic gloom and heretic go together like peanut butter and jelly for sure. These two just go so well together when it comes to instrumentals and just making almost any track together. Prod aesthetic gloom almost is guaranteed to come out fucking crazy. But let's talk about the mix. The mix is actually nutty, really really nutty. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. I'm big on the drum selection. I definitely like the melody, but drums are a big player here. But all in all, really crisp, super solid, and well-rounded instrumental mix, 100%. Shining Stars, definitely the drums. It's not even a question. Aesthetic has always been really, really solid at drums, but these drums in particular are very, very hard-hitting. Super muddy, but not too muddy. Perfect amount of mud, if you will. But yeah, without a doubt, the drums all day are the shining star when it comes to the instrumental. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. So a vocal mix is fucking great. Again, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit very nicely on the instrumental, but I think my favorite part about the mix is how everything cuts through so nicely. Like, you don't lose any drum knock, you don't lose any mud. You can hear Heretic's vocals like super clear. So this engineer did an excellent job, man. Like a really, really solid job. So shout out Freed, man. Like really, really solid job. So vocal mix is solid. Shining Star with the vocals, man. I love the writing throughout the whole song, and the delivery is fucking on point. Heretic has always had such a great delivery, no matter what genre they're attacking. But this hook, like Heretic says at the beginning of the song, is like really long, but it's so fucking good. So I'm gonna have to go with the hook, man. The hook is so long, but it's so well performed. It's not even a question what the Shining Star is when it comes to the vocals. Hook all day. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. So art by the great Mild God Daddy MGD. I love this base image. It was kind of like a forest that almost got chopped down or burnt down or something like that, and has like the smoke in the background and things like that. It's like slightly edited, and then we have the green version of the Harry World logo. You know, with the name Harry World General. I think this is like a 1-to-1 like perfect cover. You know what I mean? Like there's no way you could get a better cover. So I'm in love with that art, definitely. Mild did a really good job, so a really solid choice for this track. Harry World General. There's no like super obvious theme, right? Like Heretic doesn't necessarily talk about being a general, but I do feel like a lot of these lines and verses, you know, the hook definitely kind of has some pointers in like Heretic just kind of being like the general of Harry World. Like I definitely feel like this song has enough high energy to be only done by a general, right? Like it has just like such a high energy that calling this Harry World General kind of just made sense just based off the fact of like the writing and like how everything is performed. And like with the instrumental at this like baseline, it's just nuts, you know what I mean? Like everything starts with the instrumental, and the instrumental even seems like it's like a general, like it's like a high tier. It's like a very fucking, it's there, you know what I mean? It's just like so high energy, and Heretic definitely ate this whole track much like a general would, you know what I mean? Like Heretic 1v1 this beat as a general. You like it was just kind of a no-brainer, you know what I mean? Because like Heretic very much acted like a general on this track. So I like the title, even though it's not necessarily tied to the theme. Heretic just wrote his ass off on this hook, and it definitely felt like a general was speaking on this track, for sure. So with that said, a huge shout out to Lord Heretic. Thank you so much for this submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Lord Heretic on SoundCloud. They are 8 followers away from 830. And of course, make sure you follow Lord Heretic on Twitter. They are literally 4 followers away from 290. Go show Heretic some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure to subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 Subaroonies on the main channel. So go show these artists in the main channel some love. And if you haven't, we upload 2 times a week, man. Every Thursday and Saturday. full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there on the channel. So go show these artists and the channel some love. And if you already have, you've been dropping likes, you've been dropping comments, you've been doing all that good stuff. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. And thank you, my friends. Much love. So, up next, we would have the homie Blank Thought, but we've already reacted to Blank Thought. Blake actually is a Music Mondays Patreon, so huge shout out to Blank Thought. Thank you so much for your submission, my friend. Up next, we have the homie Laveries. Now, I believe we had a really interesting Laveries track from last week that was a bit of a throwback. And Laveries being a very talented hip-hop artist, they submitted a opening set at Brooklyn Nightclub. Wait a second. Let's see what we got here from Laveries. Okay. We about to catch Laveries' full set right now? We about to be at the club? Hold up. Let's see what we got here. So 1080p. We got timestamps in description. That's cool. Okay. So we got Yesterday, Attached, Vampire, and LA. I think we've reacted to like 3 of these. I don't think we've reacted to Attached, but Vampire, LA, and Yesterday, I'm pretty sure we have. Damn, okay, Laveries. So let's get into it. Laveries' first opening set at Brooklyn Nightclub and Lounge. Let's go.
Up next, we got coming to the stage. Love everyone.
She thinks she broke
stop complaining. When I get home, I'ma get wasted. Then wake up tomorrow and do the same shit. Now I know ain't been there, won't you? You always bring the bullshit that we been through. Don't text me, I told you I don't miss you. Just act like you don't know me, we can play cool. All my exes in the city gotta get out. I'm gonna do that in land by a penthouse. They get a little bitch from pussy, make me pass out. And she'll stay with won't ever be no fucking drought. That's the shit I'm tryna be on. Y'all man wanna be me, but I'm beyond him. You won't find one that ever compares to me. You won't feel how you felt when I was here, wanna see you again. That was your first time, girl. I know you love to sin. If we can run it back and do it all again, I know you would, girl. I know you would, girl. I know you would. I ain't been to LA, but I really wanna go there. I got the shoes and the pills, and I don't have a care in the world right now. Got your bitch with me right now. And she sucking me on slow, ayy. And you'll probably never know, ayy. She don't wanna let me go, ayy. But she gotta go back home, ayy. I ain't been to LA, but I really wanna go there. I got the shoes and the pills, and I don't have a care in the world right now. Got your bitch with me right now. And she sucking me on slow, ayy. And you'll probably never know, ayy. She don't wanna let me go, ayy. But I gotta get back home, ayy. I'ma take my BM out the road to show what's important. I'ma take my girl on the road when I'm touring. I can't really fuck with bitches that be out boring. Love Aries.
Damn, okay. That was fire. Like, that was kind of crazy for, like, I mean, I don't know if that was Laveri's, like, first set ever. That was, like, the second set, but you could tell, like, Laveri's was starting to get more loose, like, towards the end of the set. Like, that's what's lit. Like, the more you perform at these earlier shows, the more experience you're gonna get, right? And I think that's what all of these early shows are for. Like you need as much stage presence and experience you can get to like find out like what you're comfortable with on stage and like how you perform different songs and like how you interact with the crowd and how your body language is. So like by the end of it, Laveri seemed a lot more loose, which I thought was like really dope. And like I was saying, like the more you go through and do these kind of sets, the more it's gonna like improve you. You know what I mean? Like of course after a while they won't have the same effects because you'll just be comfortable with performing. But I feel like if Laveri's continues to do these, you'll be like a really solid performer. You know what I mean? So I would try to do as much of these as you can. You know, this was well done, and the fact that we've already reacted to a lot of these tracks is like really fucking fire to like see you perform these live. I think you did a solid job. You know what I mean? And I definitely want to see you keep going with these smaller shows until you feel like super comfortable. You know what I mean? Well done, and make sure you show some love to Laveri's. They're literally 6 subs away from 450, a great milestone. And of course, make sure you follow Laveri's on Twitter. Literally 7 followers away from 100, another solid milestone, my friends. SLM, King Mark, and TDG were already reviewed because they are wonderful Music Mondays Patreons. And if you're ever interested in getting your submissions played first here on the show, go check it out the Music Mondays Patreon. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 subscribers on the main channel, so go show the main channel some love. Go show these artists some love. And of course, if you already have, thank you. Showing love, dropping comments, dropping likes, all that good stuff. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. And of course, we upload every Thursday and Saturday, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. But we upload full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available on the channel, man. So go show these artists on the channel some love. I believe our last submission of the night is the homie Offspring Mysterious, a very talented producer, writer, filmer, editor, graphic designer, a very, very multi-talented artist. Submitted a edit titled Chosen Character. Okay, Offspring, let's see what we got here. From the homie Offspring. I am dibbity down. 3 months ago, so this is definitely one we have not seen. I'm definitely interested to see what Offspring has in store for us. Let's get into it. Offspring Mysterious, Chosen Character. Oh shit. The character animations are like literally on point. Okay. I love this concept.
Are you ready? Let's get started.
Perfect. That was fire. I love that concept. So simple, but like really, really effective. Like really effective. Super simple. Like what? That was like actually such a good idea. All right. Let's break this one down. So we're gonna talk about two things. Talk about the instrumental and we're gonna talk about the visual. Okay, so the instrumental. Mix is solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing at all. I definitely am a fan of this instrumental mix for sure. Super well rounded, not too bad on the leveling at all. I definitely feel like the mix was solid when it comes to this instrumental. Shining Star, definitely the melody just because it's super catchy and memorable. The drums definitely brought a lot of bounce. I like the sound selection on the drums, but the melody was like everything here. I feel like the melody was like super just memorable and like replayable for sure. But definitely the melody. And it definitely gave that like video game kind of remix vibe for sure. For sure it did. So let's talk about the visual. The overall concept is probably the Shining Star, to be honest with you. I like the edits though. I definitely feel like Offspring did a really good job editing. Offspring doesn't get enough credit for improving on their editing skills over the last couple of months. Especially with all of this like later content, the birthday montage, all that stuff. So editing is definitely a close second, but the overall concept of like choosing a video game character and Offspring, like switching outfits and like switching positions and like how you would like select your fighter on a video game screen is just like perfect and awesome concept, and I feel like Offspring definitely nailed it with this one. I would love to just continue to see more of these concepts, man, because this is a really great idea, and keep thinking outside the box because I like this one a lot. I definitely like this one a lot. And with that said, a huge shout out to Offspring Mysterious. Make sure you follow Offspring on YouTube. They are literally 3 sub-roonies from 110. And of course, make sure you follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. They are 9 followers away from 840. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 190 sub-roonies on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday and Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff is available on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you have been dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good stuff, you've been showing love. Thank you, and we appreciate you here at Music Mondays. That about does it for episode 126 submission, my friends. We got done a bit early today. We cruised through our submissions tonight. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons. Huge shout out to Lil Wet Wet, Lil Teflon, Brayden, Troy Van Dusen, Filter, Mac 2 times, Lord Heretic, Blank Dot, our Music Mondays Patreon, Lavaries, SLM, King Mark, TDG, All Music Mondays Patreons, and Offspring Mysterious. Thank you guys so much for submitting tonight on episode 126. But with that said, let's say our goodbyes. Let's talk about what's dropping tomorrow. Let's talk about what submissions are opening, and let's see what else we got here in store for you guys. So, let's talk. Man, oh man, oh man. So that was a wonderful episode. Thank you guys for just coming to hang out and show love, man. You guys are amazing. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I love you guys. So with that said, we have In Case You Missed It Monthly, Workshop Wednesday, and Feature Friday coming up this month as well. We are recruiting and we are looking for exclusives. Make sure you go check out those details on our YouTube channel and on all of our social media. We'll have a brand new article live every Friday per usual. Our weekly content and our monthly content will continue. We are in talks for a pretty major YouTube video from myself and the team, so be on the lookout for that. And we have a couple of stream upgrades that are coming through as well. And we'll have the Indie Horror Speedruns Public Combo Showcase playlist hosted on our SoundCloud. Just a ton of stuff coming up on the show as of recently. And around Music Mondays. So make sure you guys stay tuned and make sure you follow Music Mondays on all social media platforms at All Music Mondays. And of course, make sure you guys stream Music Mondays on all audio platforms. Anchor.fm/Music Mondays. Yeah. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, though, mostly. Submissions open tomorrow for episode 127. So if you aren't following us on Twitter, make sure you do so. Submissions open for SoundCloud Sunday, Volume 88, this Wednesday, so keep your eyes peeled for that as well. Expect some surprise content throughout the week, and expect a lot of really, really good stuff here on the show and Music Mondays in general. So, with that said, my friends, be safe. It's been your boy Zomslays. Make sure you follow me as well at Zomslays. Everything will be linked in the description. But with that said, I love you guys. Take care. Be safe. We'll see you next Monday for Music Mondays episode 127. And I'm live every other day of the week anyway, so make sure you follow the channel if you haven't already. It's Zomslays. We'll see you next week for episode 127.